have no organization that holds no weight. You can't speak bad about a Jewish person because they have organizations and they're a close-knit group of people in power who will bring you down. You know why there's not a lot of Jewish rappers? Because there's Jewish owners and Jewish CEOs. They run these labels. They're the bosses.
I'm jealous of the fact of how they do business together. I'm jealous of the fact of how they read their contracts and understand their contracts. I'm jealous of the way Jewish people do business. And I'm jealous not just for me, but for our entire culture.
Also, I'm envious of the Jewish people. I'm envious of how they don't abort their children. I'm envious of how they don't shoot each other in the streets and then rap about it. I'm envious of how their families stay together. I'm envious that they turn their phones off on Friday night and the family comes together.
You attack black people and Jewish people within the span of a week, then you are indeed a Nazi.
Charlamagne is a hypocrite and he has no backbone. Man, welcome back to another episode of the Ruling Class Podcast. And of course, I'm your host, Didi, back up in this bitch with another video. And listen, I'm thirsty to grow and to drink some of this water. You can help me out by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. I'm going to give you a sec to do that to help me out. When you like my videos, it pushes it to other people and puts it in the algorithm. All right, cool. Let me get straight into the point. This video won't be that long. Charlamagne the God, you's a hypocrite. I'ma just say it. I'ma say what a lot of people are thinking, what a lot of people are feeling. You's a hypocrite. You have no backbone. You's a pawn. I see right through you. The other day, Charlamagne the God decided to go on a national platform and he called Kanye West a Nazi. Not like a Nazi, no. He called Kanye West a Nazi. All right, and a lot of people out there will probably agree with Charlamagne the God's take. Here's my problem with Charlamagne. Charlamagne hasn't always held that position. So let's take a look and see what Charlamagne said just the other day about Kanye West.
Is mental illness an excuse for bigotry? You know, no, I don't think so. And I know a lot of people who suffer from mental health issues who don't maneuver like that. And also, you're a multi-billionaire. If you know you have mental health issues, go get help. Simple as that. Like if you got access to every single resource available, go get help. But once again, that doesn't give you the right to be a bigot. You know, I'm sure there was a lot of Nazis with mental health issues. You know, that don't excuse, you know, them being Nazis. And you know, if you attack black people and Jewish people within the span of a week, then you are indeed a Nazi to me. You know, so I don't, you know, it's bigotry is bigotry.
Is that right, Charlamagne? Is that how you feel? You consistent with that? Well, let's take a look for those of you who don't know, and let's see what Charlamagne had to say just a few years ago.
Black people, we don't have no power. No matter what we do, we can all click up. We don't have no organization that holds any weight. NAACP don't hold no weight. We don't have no organization that holds no weight. You can't speak bad about a Jewish person because they have organizations and they're a close-knit group of people in power who will bring you down. Same thing with gays. You can't say nothing bad about gays because they move as a unit. Black people don't have that.
I mean, if you do a racist comment about black people, there are repercussions.
When?
You don't just walk away from that.
Who? Give me an example.
I mean, you know, Kramer.
That's because he was white. And nothing really bad happened to him. You know why nothing bad happened to him?
Never really heard from him again.
I think because he got so rich that he was just cool.
Like Jews don't go out and try to recruit people into the religion like, you know, certain Christians and Muslims. And stuff.
I'll be honest with you, I don't even feel comfortable talking about this. I'm sweating right now. There's certain things I don't like to talk about, and I love Jewish people, but they're powerful. I don't want them to misconstrue anything I'm saying or take anything I'm saying the wrong way. So I would much rather not even have this conversation. I have a lot of great Jewish people in my corner. I have a Jewish conglomerate.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You know why there's not a lot of Jewish rappers? Because there's Jewish owners and Jewish CEOs. They run these labels. They're the bosses. That's why I'm uncomfortable.
What did Kanye say? He said, "Happy Kwanzaa to all the artists and
Happy Hanukkah to all the label execs." It's the truth. They run the business.
That sounds a lot like what Kanye West said. Am I lying or am I lying? Can somebody hop in the comment section and tell me why these men have no backbone? Can somebody hop in the comment section and tell me why these men can't stand strong on and firm on their word? Now, what I mean by that is, and I don't have a position on what they're talking about. I have no opinion here. But what as far as the arguments that they're making, as far as what's being called anti-Semitic and what's not, what I have a problem with is if you hold a position and all of a sudden you've done a full 180 in the most extreme fashion and you're calling somebody you know on a personal level a Nazi. This has nothing to do with your paycheck, does it, Charlamagne? This has nothing to do with your job, does it? I just need somebody to explain to me what I'm missing here. Why do you have no backbone? I also want to cover something. This guy named David Pakman. You all won't know who this guy is. His name is David Pakman from the David Pakman Show. He has a huge following on YouTube. And he had some things to say about Kanye West as well. And here's my problem right here with David Pakman and a lot of other people who hop in my comment section and like to use terms like anti-Semitic, right? You all like to throw labels on people, and I understand that's a popular thing nowadays in 2022. You all like to throw a label on somebody, and that does justice, right? When you throw a label on somebody, all the work is done. You call somebody homophobic, you call somebody anti-Semitic, you call somebody, racist. You use terms like this to counsel somebody, right? To put somebody in a certain category so people don't have to affiliate with them, instead of just leaving it to people to make their own judgment based on what somebody said or did not say, or what somebody did or what they did not do. David Pakman, here's my problem with you. You had a problem with, you called Kanye West's words the most historical anti-Semitic rant you've ever heard in your life. I just need to know why people like David Pakman and a lot of y'all that have in my comment section talk in rebuttal to what Kanye West said, but you don't even believe in God. You don't even believe in God. A lot of this is scriptural. Whether you want to admit it, whether you want to accept it or not, a lot of it is tied to the Bible and the scriptures. You don't even believe that Jesus was real, but you want to dispute who's the real Jews and who's not. When we're having these conversations about what Kanye West is talking about, you have to understand a lot of it is coming from biblical scriptures, right? A lot of it is dealing with spiritual content. So before I continue, let's take a look at what Kanye West said.
I'm jealous of the fact of how they do business together. I'm jealous of the fact of how they read their contracts and understand their contracts. I'm jealous of the way Jewish people do business. And I'm jealous not just for me, but for our entire culture. I know I can read all the books, I can meditate, I can study and say, hey, I don't have a problem with Jewish culture. I don't have a problem with what Jewish people have done to my people. I don't have a problem with the fact that the Jewish people have bought. I can say that, but I do. And I own my right, and I own my anger. And I'm gonna keep that anger as an energy to wake me up until it changes. You're not going to back me down until it changes. I'm not clarifying nothing, TMZ. No, I'm not talking specifically about businessmen. I'm talking about you, TMZ. I'm talking about the media also. I'm talking about the entire culture. A black man can play basketball or rap, only he gets the record deal. So meaning like if one black man does something bad, all the other blacks get caught with him. If one black man does something good, nobody else gets nothing with him. It's a reverse for the Jewish people, right? If a Jewish person could repeatedly fucks me on a deal, it's just them. It's just the businessman. It's not the people. It's not nobody else. But if a Jewish person does good, all of their people eat with them. That's one of the flips. I gotta tell you something. Where is a black guy that has a Jewish person signed to him? Point it out. Tell
Everywhere.
me that. Where is
nowhere.
a black person that's signed to a Jewish person?
Everywhere.
All of them.
Also, I'm envious of the Jewish people. I'm envious of how they don't abort their children. I'm envious of how they don't shoot each other in the streets and then rap about it. I'm envious of how their families stay together. I'm envious that they turn their phones off on Friday night and the family comes together. I'm envious of how they do the business together. And I want that for the darker Jews. I want that for the black people. I want that. We need that.
Okay, so let me just say outright, just up front, Kanye West, I think the mistake that he made is by saying Jewish people, and which can imply, which I understand is a lot of people's argument for anti-Semitism, but let me explain what my problem is in response to that. I think his problem is that he was saying Jewish people, which can imply that all Jewish people, you know, regardless of their status in life, is in cahoots and in this conspiracy to destroy the black voice or the black community, so to speak. When there are a lot of so-called Jewish people or a lot of Jewish people who are living everyday lives just like us, working 9 to 5s just like us, right? Who don't have quote unquote power just like a lot of us do and do not, right? What I think he should have said is the Jewish people who are in the small 1% of whatever it is in these powerful positions. That's where my problem come in, because a lot of you have cognitive dissonance and behave in this disingenuous manner as if you don't know that a lot of the powerful positions are held by people who are Jewish. Y'all try to act like that's not even true. You try to act like, what did Kanye West say wrong anywhere else in the interview? Let me hear it. What did he say wrong? A lot of the most powerful positions that be in sports and things of that fashion and things of that in the media, there are Jewish people in the highest positions. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's not anti-Semitic. It's observation. It's factual observation. You're making an observation. But for those of you who haven't come hip to the program, in America or in the Western part of the world, Western civilization or whatever, you're not supposed to say anything critical about Jewish people. If you do, you're canceled. If you do, you're anti-Semitic. You see what I did there? They throw a label on you. It doesn't matter if what you said is true or not. And that's my second problem. You hear anti-Semitic, but you don't hear them saying not true. You hear anti-Semitic, but what you don't hear them saying is, I can prove you wrong by what by what you said by me providing this amount of evidence. Which leads me to my next point. When you people hop in my comment section and you hop in other people's comment section and you want to call people anti-Semitic and things of that nature for having their own opinions, right? And having their own voice, how about you come with some factual evidence? How about you drop some links to some credible sources backing what you say about the Jewish community? How about that? It's an old saying, if you want to know who controls you, look and see who you cannot speak about, who you cannot talk about. Now, before y'all want to hop in my comment section and say, no, you can't say that because you can't talk about black people, you get canceled in 2022. It's not the same. It is not the same. You can talk about black people and get backlash from it. You talk about Jewish people, you getting canceled. Sponsors are dropping you at an unprecedented rate. So if you want to find somebody who's talked about a black person, that's different. Because when you talk about the Jewish community, I mean, everybody come at you from every angle, even if what you're saying is true. How that work? I just need to know why Charlamagne the guy don't have a backbone. I don't even know what else to say, man. Until next time. Peace.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.